oh, come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel.
Greetings, family, and welcome to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray, family, that you are extremely well in all your ways. I hope you've already done the first few steps. We advised you on how to anchor into your life so you don't get blown away into another reality that doesn't benefit you, where you find yourself at the bottom again. And we are living through extremely biblical times, family. If you look around you at what is happening, it's like what I've been saying. There is a grand exodus where people are returning to their lands, or to the lands of people that look like them. And interestingly enough, or where they control, let me just say it like that. Because, we know melanated people were all over the planet before the ongoing alien invasion. And please check out my Dr. Mumbi spiritual show. I've talked about what is AI. I'm sure you'll find that extremely fascinating. So, Trump has been causing all kinds of ripples and waves in South Africa, which we would call the Northern Gate. Because they flipped the map, and in order for them to look superior, so Africa is not actually at the bottom of the world, but it's at the top of the world, according to, if we were to look at things the way things are. Anyway, let me not even get too into that. So Trump came out and claimed that terrible things were happening in South Africa to the Mzungus there, to the so-called white South Africans. And he even offered them refugee status, or, resettlement, whatever you call that thing, in the divided states, where he said he would, in what has actually shocked the world. I think this is the first time it's been done so blatantly, in a white first kind of, resettlement program, where we're seeing him for the first time put Mzungus first. And there was a big campaign locally by Mzungu South Africans who were trying to say, no, we don't want to go to Trump South Africa, we're happy here, and all these things. But the other side of the story is that over 20,000 Afrikaners actually tried to contact the South African Chamber of Commerce in the divided states, to the point where it crashed their system. And they were interested in how to relocate and stuff. And I think those are the hardliners, the KKKs of South Africa, I would say. And it is very interesting if we were to see 20, 50, 100,000 Afrikaners actually leave South Africa and resettle in the divided states. But it doesn't seem like such a far-fetched idea. But this is so deep, family. Because if you've seen my other show, I was talking about how Trump is the last trumpet. And if we don't, it's either you wake up, you stand firm in your authority, or you perish. And I've been talking about how there would be an exodus where people would be returning to their lands, or returning to where they have strongholds, or returning to the kingdoms where the leaders look like them. And so pay attention, family, because it looks like the divided states is going to be turned into a Mzungu kingdom, blatantly. And so while they are kicking out the Africans and, the Mexicans, anyone, the brown and blacks, as they like to say, the Asians, you may also want to consider, you may also want to consider exiting stage left while you still can. because we can all see the signs of what is happening. And for me, as I still say it, Trump is the best thing that has happened to Africa, because he's going to force us to do some adulting. And he's going to force the hand of our leaders. And with the revolutionary spirit that has been ignited across the motherland, if our leaders can't stand the fire, the heat, they're going to have to get out of the kitchen and allow real Africans who have the backbone, who have the strength of character, who have the backing of the ancestors like Ibrahim Traoré, to take up leadership positions. A lot of these corrupt, cowardice, sellout, occult, devil-worshipping, boule presidents that we have across the African country it will no longer make sense for them, because they're there to exploit their people. They're not there to build a great nation or a great Africa. And by the way, that name is also going to change. So pay attention to where the world is going. I've been talking to some friends of mine from the divided states, especially those from the South. And a few of them have told me like the energy is intensifying. Trump has emboldened those that look like him to bring out their, and there's a lot going on. Even with trying to bait our people, trying to bait our revolutionaries and bring them out. Like what recently happened when a few KKK walked through a black neighborhood, and the response it brought, when our armed brothers came out. They want to see that. Anyway, you have to use your own wisdom and discernment in this season. I've already told you, family, you cannot operate through mind alone. You have to be moving spiritually. You have to be having the ancestors whisper in your ears and tell you what time it is, so that you don't get caught up in a bad situation. And we've been talking about it for years. We never ever imagined it would manifest like this through someone like Trump. And yet here we are. Anyway, special shout out to every single person that supports us and sends us gratitude donations through PayPal. There's a gift for you in the mail. And also those who support us on Patreon. We absolutely appreciate, love you. There's so much other content. I think I released a video recently that was released on Patreon maybe 2 years ago, but it felt ready for the public now. So there is a lot of information that we haven't shared on there if you'd be interested. And if you're interested in supporting the channel, definitely consider sponsoring a show. Get in touch, mumbi.seraki@gmail.com. Tuko pamoja.
To all the dispossessed youth of Africa, for perpetuation of communion with ancestral spirits through the fight for African freedom, and in the firm faith that the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite to build the destroyed shrines.